trailing in the polls for much of the campaign, emerging victorious in a presidential result that stunned the nation and the world.
U.S. President Donald Trump has now gone down in history as the first American president to be impeached twice.
Appear in court on Tuesday. That's when we'll learn what exactly the charges he's facing are. KTLA5's Sandra Mitchell joins us live in studio with reaction to this stunning case. Hi, Sandra.
Hi, Court. Cher, the NYPD tonight says no credible threats, but federal officials are monitoring online chatter. There have been reports that Trump supporters are planning to gather in New York and cause some disruptions next week. All this as the former president says since the indictment, less than 24 hours, his campaign has received another $4 million in donations. Trump supporters gathering in Florida. They are loud, but there is little they can do to stop the criminal case against the former president.
It's a travesty of injustice.
Trump now facing more than 30 criminal counts related to business fraud. The exact charges are still under seal, but he's accused of paying hush money to an adult film star during the 2016 presidential election.
Power to the people. Not amazing. What's going on, guys? More like power to the American people. Amazing. 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 It's amazing. You want to know why? Because we are live. Hey guys, sorry for the delay. Complicated business. Complicated business. All right, let's pause that. How are you guys doing? Happy Sunday. Hope your Sunday is well. Starting to warm up now. Starting to get into the thick of spring. Spring is one of my favorite seasons because it's not too cold, it's not too hot, it's just right in between. And it's amazing. It is amazing. I also like this time because it's usually close to my birthday, and my birthday happens to be tomorrow. So, looking forward to that. But what's going on, guys? Another great day to be alive and to be here with me. So, let's get into it. So, the opener that you've seen prior to the opening of the broadcast were a a short there were short clips about the great white hope, Donald Trump, from when he was first elected as president, when nobody expected him to be president, to the series of events that that carried that that carried with him even after his presidency concluded. Um, the Great White Hope was a series of firsts for a lot of things that for uh, for a lot of things occurring in U.S. president history. He was the first president who never ever held a a a government position to be elected president. He was also the first to be impeached twice. He was also the first president to have his home raided by the FBI. Never happened before, where the Justice Department would send their their bureaucratic division in the FBI to raid the former president's home. And um, just last week, the Great White Hope was the first U.S. president to be criminally charged with a crime, or what they're calling it is an indictment. So the Great White Hope, Donald Trump, was a man of first. And it's safe to say that of all of the US presidents that existed, Donald Trump was the most scrutinized one of them all. Um, this man, if if you if I mean this man's life, he could literally write a book about it and people still wouldn't believe that it was true. I mean, a man that's this heavily scrutinized winds up becoming a fixture within our society. But why is that? Why would the great white hope Donald Trump be so scrutinized in this country? Considering the fact that there are other presidents that had other skeletons in their closet, but why is Donald Trump the most heavily scrutinized person um was the former president in our country? Why are people so fixated on wanting to silence this man? Well, one could say that that the grand jury in New York have enough evidence to put out a supposedly 30 charge indictment on the great white hope Donald Trump. Enough to where Donald Trump will now have to surrender and actually take a plea to these charges. Now, what are the charges that the Great White Hope is being charged for? Well, apparently, the Great White Hope, Donald Trump, is being charged with giving out hush money to silence a porn star from coming out and speaking about their 2006 affair that she would have spoken about back in 2016. That's the crime. So you're telling me that the great white hope, Donald Trump, the crime that he committed was allegedly handing out hush money to keep a porn star quiet about his extramarital affair with her. That's the crime that was committed. That is the very crime that this New York DA, Alvin Bragg, who is a George Soros puppet, a man that was funded by George Soros. This is the man that is bringing about charges against the Great White Hope when his city is literally out of control due to the leniency of holding criminals accountable in the city of New York. So let me get this straight. Of all the violent crimes that are committed in New York City, this holds precedent. Everybody knows that this is a political ply to prevent the great white hope from running and winning the 2024 presidency. So this is what this is all about. It's all about trying to take down the very man that the establishment feels is a threat. But why would the establishment believe that the great white hope Donald Trump is a threat? Besides, his policies were able to make America great again. He wanted security. He advocated for the wall. He was even willing to shut the government down to get that wall. He was protecting us. And everybody thought that the Great White Hope was selling snake oil. They didn't believe that a wall was erected. But the truth of the matter is, 400 miles of wall along the border coast of Texas was erected. Granted, it was only 400 miles, but the Great White Hope kept his promise that he would build a wall to help secure us from the illegal aliens coming and pouring into our country. So, the Great White Hope, Donald Trump, with everything that they have been trying to hit him with, they are now trying to hit him now with the indictment charge and potentially trying to get him convicted and thrown into jail, which chances are could happen, not because they have any clear evidence that Trump did anything wrong, but because his trial will be in Manhattan, which is a non-neutral area. It is a far liberal area, and they are willing to convict people not necessarily because they found any wrongdoing, but because Donald Trump is against the establishment. And and a city like New York, especially in an area like Manhattan, would love nothing more than to convict Donald Trump on hearsay and on circumstantial evidence just so that they can be able to throw him into jail and prevent him from running in the next election cycle. This is what this is all about. All of this is politically motivated. All of this. Okay. And to show you once again um, what is going on, let me run you the short clips that you were able to see prior to this broadcast being started. Take a look. Obviously, you know I have to have the copyright disclaimer. Fair use. You see it for yourself. It's fair use. Fair use, fair game.
Few hours earlier, Donald Trump, trailing in the polls for much of the campaign, emerging victorious in a presidential result that stunned the nation and the world.
U.S. President Donald Trump has now gone down in history as the first American president to be impeached twice.
Amazing.
Security in New York, where Donald Trump will be arraigned on criminal charges, the first time ever for a former president of the United States.
Trump is expected to appear in court on Tuesday. That's when we'll learn what exactly the charges he's facing are. KTLA5's Sandra Mitchell joins us live in studio with reaction to this stunning case. Hi, Sandra.
Hi, Court. Cher, the NYPD tonight says no credible threats, but federal officials are monitoring online chatter. There have been reports that Trump supporters are planning to gather in New York.
So I made a video about the Great White Hope, stating that he was going to be arrested, and this is the man that is responsible for that. Alvin Bragg. His campaign was heavily funded by George Soros, and he was able to become um, New York City's DA. And now he is going after this man for what this slut was alleging that her and the Great White Hope, Donald Trump, had an extramarital rendezvous back in 2006 and was going to speak out about it in 2016. And then the Great White Hope, Donald Trump, had to allegedly, because all this is alleged, he had to silence her with monetary compensation so that she would not come out with the affair. So basically, Stormy Daniels was extorting the Great White Hope into not wanting to come out with the affair. You see, this slut right here, she knew exactly what she was doing. She wanted to extort the Great White Hope and wanting to allegedly give her hush payments so that she would not come out with what could have been a devastating scandal. It's amazing. It's amazing the very things that people are willing to take you down for. Now, I have a little bit more to speak on this, but we will continue with this video.
Can cause some disruptions next week. All this as the former president says since the indictment less than 24 hours, his campaign has received another $4 million in donations.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. People are going to come out and they are going to support this man because this is the only president at the given time that would actually that was the president for all people. You couldn't say that about the fallen messiah, Barack Obama, but you could definitely say that about the great white hope, Donald Trump. And Donald Trump made sure that the policies that were going to be placed were going to benefit all Americans. He did that. All right. Everything from securing the border, uh, major uh, tax cuts, especially tax cuts for the corporate. And I want people to understand one thing: when you cut taxes on businesses, what that does is that it allows the business now to become more innovative. They're able to take the amount of money that they were able to make, and they can use it to strengthen their business, whether it be hiring more employees, bringing in more technology, um, creating new things. All of these things, and they can also be responsible for making sure um, that if they are providing goods and services, that they can be able to lower the cost on their goods and services. There's a lot of good things that come when when you cut taxes for corporate. Everybody thinks that corporations will just run away with the very amount of money that they create, which is obviously within their rights. They have the right to do that. But a lot of corporations want to remain, strong within the community. So chances are they will take that money and then reinvest it into themselves so that they can be able to better serve the community. All right. Also, also, um, also when you when the Great White Hope was able to eliminate a lot of programs that were that were paid through tax dollars, what people were able to see was more money in their more money in their paychecks, and not having to worry about getting that money at the very end of the year. I know people were sitting up there and complaining, well, because of Donald Trump, my tax return was low. Okay, and then chances are your wage was high, because you can't have one without the other. I mean, what would you rather have? Would you rather have higher wages, or would you want to have a higher tax return? The higher tax return, or the higher tax refund, is something that people will have to wait at the end of the year to get. Whereas i- high wages is something that you can experience every pay period. I would rather get paid more for my work than to have to wait for a big tax refund at the end of the year. And that's what the Great White Hope was able to do. Okay. He was also able to get tough on trade, putting tariffs on countries that want to import their goods back into our country. I mean, we have to play fair. It's like countries take everything from us, and yet no one takes anything from our country. Nobody wants to take any of our things, but everybody wants something from us. We give out hundreds of billions of dollars for to everybody else, to NATO, um, to all of these NGOs that don't necessarily do anything to benefit the American people. I mean, we have given out billions of dollars now to NGOs outside of the country to perform abortions. Yes, your tax dollars are used to kill babies, which was unheard of under the Trump administration. Donald Trump put America first. Countries respected the fact that we were American first. And Donald Trump was going to make us energy independent by installing a pipeline which will allow us to get the gas from Canada to bring into the country, which would have lowered the gas prices and give everybody a livable life. Not to mention the gas was going to be safe. I mean, not only was the gas going to be cheap, but it was going to be safe for the environment as well. This is all of the things that the Great White Hope did. So you would think with everything that Donald Trump has implemented to make America great, why do you think the establishment is so quick on wanting to get rid of this man? Amazing.
Trump
Look at that.
supporters gathering in Florida. They are loud, but there is little they can do to stop the criminal case against the former president.
It's a travesty of injustice.
Trump now facing more than 30 criminal counts related to business fraud. The exact charges are still under seal, but he's accused of paying hush money to an adult film star during the 2016.
Let me just tell you this right now. They're saying that they're charging him with business fraud, and they're not even elaborating into what type of business fraud they are trying to get him for. But one of the things is that Donald Trump paid hush money to keep Stormy Daniels quiet from going public with their affair. Listen,
Presidential election.
just listen to this.
Gathering in Florida. They are loud, but there is little they can do to stop the criminal case against the former president.
It's a travesty of injustice.
Trump now facing more than 30 criminal counts related to business fraud. The exact charges are still under seal, but he's accused of paying hush money to an adult film star during the 2016 presidential.
So, when was the last time that you seen someone being charged for giving hush money to to another person in order to prevent them from speaking public about something? Again, where's the victim? Where is the victim? What crime was committed? That is not a crime. That is definitely not a crime. Now, they have tried to dissect the Great White Hope background in order to pull something. They wanted his tax returns. Um, they really have been diving for his tax returns because they felt that he was hiding something. They wanted his tax returns, but they didn't want Joe Biden's tax returns. Joe Biden had $13 million that was unaccounted for in 3 years, in which he was able to make profits from a book that he turned that business into an S corp business, which I don't even know how you're able to do that, but that's one of the loopholes that they criticized Trump for that Joe Biden was able to do, and Joe Biden winds up not being able to pay $13 million in 3 years. Why isn't he audited? All right. Hunter Biden goes on a crack binge with minors and was accused of actually taking in side deals from China, from Russia, and even from the Ukraine, and not paying taxes on either one of these big deals, right? And the only thing that he got was a fine, and it was swept under the rug. Nobody even spoke about that. But the Great White Hope is literally has his taxes, his life dissected. I mean, completely dissected, completely um combed with a fine tooth. I mean, with a fine tooth comb. He had his entire life, his finances combed through, and they still haven't found anything. But it's not going to stop them from planning something on him. And I believe that's what they're going to do now, because they can't find anything on the Great White Hope, but they're desperately trying. They are praying that they can find something on him. And if they can't, then they'll plant something on him. Just like how rogue cops like to do when they want to wrongfully get someone convicted for a crime. They'll just plant something on you. All right? Unbelievable. Amazing that that the establishment are willing to go that far into wanting to
Us here today do not want to see our election.
Okay. All right, people. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. All right, guys. I'm back. For that little snippet that you were able, so I guess I was able to give you guys a little sneak peek of the little clip that I wanted to play you guys of Trump's actual statement or speech that he made to the people prior to the so-called um, insurrection of the Capitol, which we all know is asinine, blasphemous. There was no such thing as a insurrection of the Capitol. Yeah, you had some boneheads storming the Capitol, and that wasn't everyone. Vast majority of the Trump supporters went and did exactly what they were going to do, and that was to peace protest to to peacefully assemble and protest, which they have the right to do. All right, that is our First Amendment right. Amazing. So, without further ado, let me play you the clip of the exact speech that the great white hope Donald Trump was able to make to the supporters prior to the Capitol Hill incident. Here we go.
Victory stolen by emboldened radical left Democrats, which is what they're doing, and stolen by the fake news media. That's what they've done and what they're doing. We will never give up. We will never concede. It doesn't happen. You don't concede when the
I apologize for the background music. I was recording this as I guess as the background music was playing. Maybe I should have turned the background music off. But hey, still learning this. I guess you learn it as you fly it. Oh, and by the way, this clip was provided by Washington Post, and this is fair usage. Fair usage. So Washington Post can't come after me for this. Fair usage. All right. Fair use. I'm going to use this to entertain, to inform, and I might entertain, but I'm definitely going to inform. So without further ado, let's roll the clip.
there's theft involved. Our country has had enough. We will not take it anymore, and that's what this is all about. And to use a favorite term that all of you people really came up with, we will stop the steal. We have come to demand that Congress do the right thing and only count the electors who have been lawfully slated. Lawfully slated. I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard. Today, all of us here today do not want to.
Yes. So you guys heard it with your very own ears. If you didn't hear it, let's play it again.
That everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard. Today, all of us.
So you guys heard it. Where in that clip does the Great White Hope tell the very people to go in and storm the Capitol? At what time did the Great White Hope tell the people to march in and storm the Capitol? At what point? Listen, you want me to play it again? Let's play it again.
The electors who have been lawfully slated. I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard.
Peacefully and wait, let's do that again. Because I want you guys to hear this.
I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard.
Peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard. Where did you ever hear the Great White Hope going in telling the supporters to storm the Capitol? At what time did Donald Trump tell the supporters to go and storm the Capitol? What time? Somebody please tell me. Am I missing something here? Let's play this one more time.
Slated. I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard.
Peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard. But the very people that brought up the articles of impeachment, including that nasty witch Nancy Pelosi, who, by the way, her husband wind up getting into 2 DUIs. Okay, the first one was where he actually seriously rear-ended another car because his blood alcohol level was through the roof. I mean, through the roof. Right? That man, he was arrested and then he was let out with probation. Despite the fact that he got into a serious rear-ending accident. Then this man gets into a rendezvous with David something. But he winds up getting into a rendezvous with a man known to be a homosexual. And this man, he and this man wind up in the house. And when the police come, because this man wind up calling the police, right? Because this man supposedly broke into the home. When the police came in, they found that man in his underwear. And Paul Pelosi willingly opened the door. Didn't seem like he wasn't in any danger. He actually went back into the house, and then that's when the man went in and attacked him with a hammer. So Nancy Pelosi, a woman who wants to claim that she is God Almighty, even though her husband, even though it looks like her husband allegedly is fooling with homosexuals and her husband is a complete drunk, decides to bring about articles of impeachment against the Great White Hope, Donald Trump, for inciting an insurrection. Now, whenever you incite something, that means that you are the one to start it. How can you start an insurrection when you are telling people to march to the Capitol in peace and patriotically make your voices heard? Where in that language do you hear Donald Trump inciting people to storm the Capitol? Anyone? Does anybody want to take a crack at this? Where in his language Where in his tone does Donald Trump forget tone? Where in his language did Donald Trump incite his supporters to go and storm the Capitol? Where in his language did he incite people to want to storm the Capitol? That's just like me telling you um to go out in peace after a service and then you decide to go out and have sex in public. And then you turn around and say, "Yeah, yes, well, the pastor of the church told me to go out in peace, so I wanted to peace and love, so I wanted to peace and lovely make love to my partner." No, you made that choice. Donald Trump said, "Go peacefully and patriotically, no, patriotically and peacefully protest," which is your right as a US citizen to protest as long as you're doing it peacefully. Donald Trump told his supporters to peacefully and patriotically march to the Capitol and protest. So again, this is what happens when you decide to want to get rid of anybody by any cause, by any means. And that's exactly what they did. Congress abused their power. This man should have never been impeached at all. Donald Trump should not have any charges pending on him at all. Donald Trump shouldn't even have had his house raided by the FBI at all. All of these things happen because Donald Trump is a threat to the establishment, a major threat, a threat that the establishment has to get rid of. But just like how you can't stop a locomotive train from from um, from running, they are not going to stop the MAGA train from running. Trust me, the people will get the final say, and the people will elect Donald J. Trump, the great white hope, to become our president once again, becoming only the second president in history to repeat a term after losing the initial term. And I'm looking forward to it. I cannot wait until next year. Amazing. Now, on to business. Now, so the beta of the week goes to Jamira Shoots. Jamira Shoots is a female black thug that plays for the University of Memphis. And this female black thug um, went in and committed battery on live TV because, we all know that the blacks are wild undomesticated monkeys. But this black thug went and punched Elissa Brett out of Bowling Green after a tournament that they played in which Memphis lost to Bowling Green. I believe that's what happened. Yes. And so Jamira Shoots, who was born and raised in Philadelphia, go figure, decided to take it upon herself to exert her blackness, to exert um, the very thing that we identify the blacks with when it comes to black culture. That the blacks generally are violent people. The blacks love to resort things through violence because that is a part of black culture. Let me repeat that again. Generally, the blacks love to resort to resolve conflicts through violence. That's the only thing that the blacks know. And this woman uh, made a clear example of how the blacks conduct themselves when they have a disagreement and when they do not get when people do not um, give preferable treatment to them. So here's an example of that. All right. Now, hold on one second. Let me just play this all the way back. All right. Here we are. All right. So you're going to see it. Let me pause it right here. Right here. So here's the black thug right here, Jamara Shoots, and she is confronting this this white player, female player here called Alyssa Britt from Bowling Green. So this is Jamira Shoots right here, the black female basketball player from Memphis. So she is in black uniform, and Alyssa Brett is in white uniform. Here they go. She's in her face, and oh, did you see that? Amazing. So as she is turning away, this black thug took it upon herself to sucker punch this white female basketball player. Amazing. Look at this. Amazing. Well, it makes sense that she would do something like this. She was raised in Philadelphia, and we all know that that the black females in Philadelphia are very violent and very aggressive. I had the unfortunate uh I had the unfortunate um meeting or the unfortunate ability to interact with these violent black females. And let me tell you, I wouldn't wish these people on your worst enemy. These black females are very scorned. They are very angry. They are very bitter. They are very demonstrative and very combative, mainly because they are modern women. This is how the black, angry, um, difficult, modern black woman conducts herself. And trust me, if she can do this to a woman, she will definitely do this to a man as well. Because um, because she has anger, and anger is derived from Satan, and Satan is her daddy. Amazing. And I'm sure she was behaving this way because her team lost the tournament. And truth of the matter is that when blacks get uh stereotyped for being violent people, well, this doesn't help your cause because all you're doing is just perpetuating the negative stereotypes that we all identify the blacks for. And all you do is continue to prove their point. So, Jamira Shoots is a beta female. Amazing. That is amazing stuff. Well, guys, this has been fun. Doing. Sorry, guys. Okay, okay. So, guys, this has been fun. Um, I thank you all for tuning in to my channel. Be on the lookout for new content coming down the barrel. And if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you'll be able to get content completely on the double. And with that being said, this is The Conservative. Have a blessed night. Amazing.